Right, we've got a shaft oil in the house, everybody.
Hello.
Alistair.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
So I put out a tweet yesterday asking for anyone who's into shafts, just random want to test, because the shaft debate just continues when it kind of shouldn't need to, but it does. So this is just going to be fun. I hope we can do this with a few people. Alistair has, what's he got there, Dan?
He's got the Atus.
Yeah.
That looks like it's a 7X.
Yeah.
So do you know the weight on this one?
Didn't actually grab the weight on it, no.
Right, so UST
770, do you reckon?
770.
So it's a how much was the shaft?
The shaft was 300.
Now, Alistair is away, like you're going to get hammered in the comments as much as we are, and Alistair's happy to be hammered. Just hammer away. It's his choice to buy whatever clubs he wants. And me personally, I don't care how much he spends on his shaft. The same way I don't care how much your car costs, I don't care how much your trousers cost. It's your clubs, it's your money, you have fun. All we're going to do is test this against some other randoms that we won't tell you what they are, see what the results are, how it differs, just for a fun little experiment. Cool. Now handicap, you're +1.
+1.
So a very good player. Unfortunately, I found someone who's a better player than us three. So the test has slightly gone the wrong way. We're dotted up. We're going to catch some base numbers with his shaft. Dan's put a different club in. We've got different shafts. Alistair's just going to try and hit normal, just hit shots, and that's turning it away. Well done, Matthew.
Well, look, you put it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I like that. So that's 3 shots. Thing. How does that feel? As in not feel.
Yep.
As in result.
Results wise, I mean, it's hard to split between the two, isn't it? Maybe the flight was looked a touch higher on the screen, but I haven't seen any numbers.
But off the face and feel of like that you're going to hit the target and not feel different.
Yeah, so face and feel felt the same. It's the same head, but slightly softer at the tip, maybe.
Yeah.
That's about all I could really feel.
Okay, but then for finding a fairway, the fact that
hit every fairway with the second shaft.
Okay, let's hit a couple more.
Splash on the line.
That's my.
There's your usual normal.
Yeah, so you've got a leap to the right in you, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So anyone wondering why we've gone to the yellow head? Alistair came with the white. The white was giving us no readings on the face. I wonder because we think that the white was being seen by the machine and confused with the dot. So the head is exactly the same. It's just the yellow over the white. If anyone wants to post comments on the colour making a difference, then yeah, there's other channels out there to go and watch. So we have a third shaft now. Danny boy has treated us to. Such a treat, Dan, with your shafts, aren't you? Yep, that's all coming in. So again, initial thoughts on the feel of that?
Feels slightly lighter.
Okay.
Lighter than your own, or lighter?
Sorry, lighter than my own.
Yeah.
And what about in comparison to the
In comparison to the previous, the second shaft, the previous felt that little bit softer into impact. This feels a little stiffer than that.
And then
We're talking
weight?
fractions of feel. Weight, I would
Yours
say.
feels heavier than
mine.
that.
Mine is the heaviest of the 3, and I
Middle
would
one?
put these two pretty close together.
Cool.
Yeah.
I did this test in Oceanside, right? Where they did it with length.
Length of shaft.
You can trick people up with length so easily. So if you give me one, so they gave me 3 or 4 different lengths and I had to guess which one was mine.
Yeah.
And they gave me one and it felt longer, but it was like my length. I didn't know this. So everything else they gave me felt shorter.
Yeah.
And then they gave me the longer one and it felt massive. Like I couldn't, it went off whatever I established one of them as.
Whatever you thought normal. Or
Correct.
Yeah.
The others, and if I didn't get that right, which I didn't, I was completely thrown on the other ones.
Yeah.
Which made me think, cool, yeah, you could make me believe any shaft length is good,
It's good,
if
yeah.
you trick me up on the first one.
Yeah.
Bit heel strikey.
Pretty good result.
Yeah.
And that's line ball for a heel strike. Would you, with a shaft choice, when you miss hit, would you feel more stable in a shaft that in your head is more stable compared to obviously centre hit?
Yeah.
Like we always get the comment, your pros, you always hit it out the middle. We don't.
No.
Hence our ball speeds are all very different when we test, but
Yeah.
people don't want to listen to the facts sometimes. So they would say, test it on an amateur, they're going to do it all over the face and then you'll see twisting. Would you feel more stable on miss hits with any of these free shafts because you miss hit that one, for instance?
So third shaft with the miss hit in the heel just performed really, really well. My normal miss strike is slightly high toe.
Yeah.
And that tends to just get a kind of soft, good flight still, not really spinning too high. So I think, and this is a predisposition, I think in my shaft the dispersion overall probably comes in.
Tighter.
A little bit.
Because
yeah.
that shaft is tighter.
Possible, yeah.
So, and then you feel, I guess, that if it's not twisting and moving around as much, it'll deliver the same each time. Is the logic there?
That's the logic,
Yeah.
yeah. I think what we've seen so far is that if I'm swinging well and hitting it close to the centre, then actually...
Someone watches.
Well, someone comes in with an open mind and you actually see it on the screen, so...
Got a couple more with that one. Right, 3 different shafts. How did that one feel?
You can't really argue with the results. They're all pretty straight. The dispersion was decent.
Danny boy, can you tell me about the 3 shafts before we look at the numbers that you put in? Little footnote before we carry on, Ashley. Can you tell what might be what by looking? Like lots of people will know the patterns and stuff like that.
So the...
As in you spot a shaft and know what it might be?
Not with any real detail.
Okay.
I know there's a pattern in the one on the right that I've seen in the stock shafts before.
Yeah.
But that doesn't tell me whether it's stiff, soft, light, heavy, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't tell to that level of detail now.
So what have we got? We've got his
So we'll
shaft.
start with
to
his
start.
shaft, which is the Atta 7X.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a 76 gram shaft,
So heavy.
so it's quite a heavy shaft.
Which makes sense. Look at the size of
Yeah.
it. I get that.
And it's a mid to high launching shaft.
Right,
So that's what that one is set up
Yep.
for.
That's interesting.
I then put you in a regular shafted helium shaft. Okay, so again UST, so same as where yours has kind of come out of the factory, and this one is a 59 gram.
Wow.
Okay,
That's lighter than I've ever hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what would come in like TS1
Yeah.
is 45s and 50s.
Right, okay.
The super light ones.
Got you.
TaylorMade super light one that they do a lady stroke one, they'll be trying to get 45 grams and
Sure.
stuff like that, and Callaway will have an equivalent and the rest of Mizuno.
Yeah. So 59 gram, and this is a high launching shaft.
Right.
So this one should be
Okay.
popping you up there a little bit more.
The other one was mid to high.
Yeah, mid to high. Yeah.
It's all I like what you if you read up on shafts, it's funny because if anyone wants to do this, when you get a pack of golf balls and do it with Titleist, because I used to do it, it's funny. Basically on the back of the ball it almost says that this is mid to high launch high spin. This is mid to high launch high spin. Whoa, hang on.
If hit by a robot.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, we then put you into the Atmos shaft, Fujikura's
Right.
shaft, and this is a 7S. So this is a stiff shaft,
Okay.
and this is a 74 gram shaft.
So similar weight to...
So similar weight to what you have. 2 grams in
Upsell
there.
or standard?
Standard comes
So
in there standard.
That is a standard shaft.
That's a standard shaft. Now this is a low launching shaft.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see how that sort
So
of.
last
goes
one
there.
should have launched the lowest.
Last one should have
subject
launched-
to weight.
Correct.
And loads of the other his one.
Yeah. So that one should be the lowest.
This
launch.
one he should have no control with the light one.
No, zero control
'Cause
and
he's strong.
really high launching.
Okay.
Okay, but you didn't think that the weight difference between the two that we put in, there was much in it. You just felt
Barely,
a little
yeah.
bit more, maybe
Little bit
floppier,
softer, exactly.
A little bit floppier,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's a massive weight
It's
difference
huge.
in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then obviously yours is a mid to high launch, so that's going to sort of sit kind of in between them.
Sure.
Okay.
What are we seeing, Dan?
Okay, so we start off with your own.
Yep.
So you got ball speed there at 169.9. If we go into the second one, which was the regular shafted 59 gram shaft, 172.2 on an average. We've had one that we've kind of just taken out here, which was
I made a bad swing.
real misfit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
We look at the peak
way up,
height,
way out.
49
Yeah.
compared. I mean, it's 10 yards higher.
Yeah. And then 171.2 if you look at your average with the third shaft, which was the one that we got as close as we could to possibly your shaft. Should we say.
Stock though.
Stock shaft, definitely, yeah.
So the ball
Launch.
speed, in my opinion, there has not changed, even though there's a few mile an hour between the two. Would you
Yeah.
be happy with that?
Yep, correct statement.
You're jumping with your ball speed, as everyone does as you strike it. So
Yep.
within 2 mile an hour, you'd have to test that so rigorously to see
Yeah.
that as a consistent
Yeah.
thing. And contrary to what should be happening, it's actually got faster with the
Yeah.
the lightest shaft. But then that's maybe reacting to a lighter shaft.
Possible.
Possibly. Interestingly, though, look at what's happening with the actual launches. Now, I talked about the different launches that they're saying that they produce and,
Yep.
and whatnot. If you look at yours, 10.9 on an average. If we go to the regular shafted one, 10.6. And then 10.3 with the stock shaft that we got as close as we could to
Yeah.
your shaft.
Yeah.
So
What do you think of that?
I mean, that just, based on the information out there, that shouldn't be the case. That's crazy.
That surprises you, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Nah. Almost as if we've done this test before.
Well, almost.
Now, Alistair is +1, so in effect he's performing like us and better. So we will do this test with others. Don't worry, because obviously I know the comments that will be coming. Yeah, but he's a good golfer. We need to get him. You know, it's all on the face. So it's going to take. We'll do that. We'll do that. We've done it before. And we'll do it again.
Should we look at spin?
Yeah.
So spin with your own, averaging 2.542 on an average there. Jumping from 2.1 up to sort of 2.8. And then if we come into the regular shaft, again, we've just taken that one
Regular
miss out
light.
that. Regular light, yeah, 59 gram light. Again, 2.9 spin. Does that surprise you a bit?
400 revs difference.
I would have expected a much bigger gap.
Because that's quite an extreme in shafts. You're almost going from
Yeah.
one end to the other on the spectrum there.
Yeah, literally.
So 400 revs could be the shaft.
Could be strike.
Absolutely.
Could be
Could
loft.
be the player as well. We could hit a lot more shots. I would still rather you use, out of those two shafts, I'm going to put you in yours
Yeah, because we didn't have the big miss with mine.
all day. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that for that reason, because you've hit 20 shots, 30 shots, whatever you've hit, you're going to have a big miss.
Yeah, true.
And if we keep repeating this test, I can
could've-
promise
I
you,
could've
it
done
will
that
go in
before,
any batch. It'll just keep flipping. It won't
Understand.
consistently stay in one, because that'd be like saying I play 18 holes and every time the second shot on the third makes me have a double bogey.
Yeah,
It
that's
just doesn't work like that. You
No.
double bogey the third, next day you eagle it, and
Yeah.
then the next month you have a 10 on it, and then your bad shots come out randomly. That's the beauty of this game.
And when you hit that shot,
Yeah.
interestingly, you reacted to
Straight
me
away.
and you said, I can do that.
Yeah.
Like that's a shot
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've seen before.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Like I'm guessing there's no way you wouldn't say you've hit that shot with your shaft.
Oh, 100% I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why, for some reason, it would be this one only?
No, fair
Again,
enough.
it's a very common statement. So in lessons, sometimes you just have to be brutal. Like they say something, and you just have to say that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
And once you back it up with some facts and some ideas, like
Yeah.
people do say stuff that is just wild,
Yeah.
because you are fed such conflicting advice.
Yeah, sure. Understand.
And then again, stock shaft as close to yours as we could get it is 2.7 spin.
From
2.7
what?
it. From your own at 2.5.
So 200 reps.
200 rev difference.
But yet the distance is retaining and the speeds are increasing.
Yeah. Peak heights, 36 yards high with your own, 39 yards high with the soft regular one in there,
And again, you got that random 41. We
That
got the
random
49 out.
41,
You got
yeah.
slightly higher.
and then 36. So back to where you are with your own
Yeah.
in the.
But
in the
just a
stocks
little point here. What are we missing here? So he delivered 15.5 average loft with the soft one that went higher, and he averaged 15.7 with his shaft.
Yeah.
And then the last one he averaged 14.3. So how can the soft shaft go higher when you're delivering exactly the same loft for all intents and purposes across those three clubs? Stop smirking, you. He's like, Matt used to be the one sat at the back of the class mucking around because he didn't understand any of the others. Now he knows them before they come out.
And he's got that little
sits at the
smug
front and
face on.
smirks at people. You idiot. I know this one. So how can we have the same loft delivered?
But it's gone higher.
Anyone
Sure.
in the class? Strike, possibly?
Yeah, I'm going to go with strike.
Slightly higher on the face?
So what have we got there? 13. Yeah, so you've got 8 millimeters high on an average compared to 9 millimeters high.
And then
And then
13 millimetres high on the
there.
one that
Yeah.
isn't the highest. What about angle of attack?
Angle of attack.
0.8,
0.8, 0.1 and 0.1.
0.1.
Yeah.
So this is where we always break down. And again, it's like, you can use whatever shaft you want.
Yeah.
Because you've got to feel what you want to feel. But if you want to look at the exact data, you won't see these claims
No.
as a fact.
No,
So
absolutely.
we're now actually having a conversation about how we all feel.
I just want to put out there as
Yeah,
well
I like this.
that you keep saying that yours is tight dispersion.
Yeah.
It's not.
The greens are the tightest
greens are the
dispersion by a
tightest.
mile.
Yeah.
Which ones are the green, Danny boy?
Don't. Oh, no. That's fine. I'm going into ladies' flat.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is where data hurts people. You can use data
Yeah.
to help you,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I mean, I've used data for a long time now, and where it helps me, it equally hurts me. The thing I've learnt the most from using all the measuring devices is how feel-based and natural and uncomplicated I try and keep my one-to-one coaching.
Sure.
So people sometimes confuse what I put down that lens to what I would deliver to you.
Yeah.
Because I would deliver to you different to how I would deliver it to my daughter,
Yeah.
to my younger daughter, to my mum, to my dad. That's what I think good communicators can do. They can pitch it to the person.
Yeah,
You work in
exactly.
sales, you've got to pitch it, otherwise you don't
Absolutely.
make a sale. And if you're trying to express a point, it's like making a sale. You've got to sell that point and then back
Exactly.
it up with data. So obviously the tightest dispersion with the greens, and I would never put you in that shaft because you would whinge at me all day and I don't want you to whinge. If I sell you a club or I'm giving you lessons, I don't
Yeah.
want you back.
No.
I don't want you to come back because if you're coming back, you're asking me a question that I have to fix.
Yeah.
So I want you to go out there and just win the Open and get in it. That's what I want you
Yeah.
to do. So don't come back. Come back with that trophy and we'll have our selfie together like all the coaches do. So what you feel is going to override everything. But you cannot ignore the facts of your delivery. And we'll do this with handicapped golfers, but this is quite an extreme case. We're talking 117 mile an hour delivery. And they are extreme differences.
Yeah.
And you have not paid, there's a stock shaft in there in my opinion that's doing everything you need it to do.
Yeah.
There's
Seems
also a
so.
very light shaft in there that if you wanted to,
You could play.
you could absolutely play, but you would probably not like it.
Sure.
Fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You
what's
like
fun?
it, it'd be a fairway.
Yeah.
That would be
Well,
nice.
we always go back Montgomery,
Yeah.
7-wood, had a lady shaft in it, didn't even
Yeah.
know for years.
Wow.
It was always a 5-wood, or so he had a fairway wood, had a lady shaft, and it was like his gamer. Didn't know until they measured it years later.
Boom.
Press comments down below. We've done this test so many times, it's just comments keep coming, and I see content that tries to just cloud such a very simple message. It's whatever you feel is best. There are some slight patterns to shafts, but everyone overrides them so easily. It's about the feel that you feel you can perform, as the
Yeah.
data there hopefully helps you see.
Definitely does.
Oh, shaftoid. We had one in the studio.